Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.
And the Bears now find themselves at 9-4, and they have slipped down in the playoff rankings. But there's a lot of football left, and that's okay. This is what real life in the NFL feels like. And you can have all the fun you want with a coach taking his shirt off and free hot dogs and front running, but the reality is very little separates good teams as we get into the nut-cutting time when it comes to playoff seeding. And this is what you want. Now the Bears are playing this level of game right now. And what it does is it makes this weekend's game, this Sunday's game, a must-win. You got a team coming in here with 3 wins. And it's time to win these games you're supposed to win and knock them out early. Come right after them, punch them in the mouth. You don't want to have to exert yourself too much in a game like this. And I know it's football and every game gets crazy, and the Bears have had to block kicks at the ends of games to beat bad teams. But here's a really, really good opportunity to back up what a lot of us are saying, that they're better now. They are clearly a better team than they were when they were trying to scrounge out wins against some of the lesser lights. This is a team you should put away. And we know they can rush the passer. We know the defense is real. The offense of the Cleveland Browns, I don't believe in whatsoever, and the Bears should prove that. But you got to win this one. And as fun as everything has been at Hallis Hall, all the joyful stuff and all of the yelling and screaming and good, better, best, all of that has to go into how focused you are on, as they say, taking care of your business in this game. Because now you're doing real football business. Now it's that time. And it's as much as the Packers game proved that they're about as good as the Packers, and I think that's really the takeaway, that they're about as good as the Packers. And we'll see how the odds makers will immediately, when this game is over on Sunday and we see what the expectations are for the next week. I think it's going to be reflected in that, depending on injury. But now that they are this good, and it's going to slide around. These seedings are going to be jumping all over the place for the next few weeks. And this is the opportunity to get win number 10, lock in that double-digit win season, and then continue to solidify your playoff position. When you have the luxury of worrying about some of the seedings and some of the matchups, and do you get a bye, do you not get a bye? But it's just great to be in this spot. That the Bears are playing real football and living a real NFL life right now in a way that they haven't in a long, long time.
Yeah, I think looking at this game, Dan, and kind of sitting back and taking a moment to breathe and replay the game and reevaluate my thoughts of the game, the Packers have been up and down. They've had some up and down moments like most teams in this league have. But they've been one of the more consistent teams from a national perspective as a top team in the NFC. And I haven't disagreed with that. After that Lions game in week 1, I remember telling you that I thought this team was going to finish as a top 5 defense. That's just what they looked like to me. And even through injuries, they're still playing defense at a very high level. It's a very good defensive team. After the Bears beat the Eagles last week and they handled them from start to finish, the Bear meatball in me says, this is great. I love this team. I always want this team to win. But my critical thinking always said, I'm still skeptical of this team. And I have been. And I have been critical of Caleb Williams, and I've been critical of the team throughout the year. It's bizarre because after this game, after a loss, this is the most confident I've felt about this team, because that second half said to me, this is a real football team right now. They have weaknesses. They have flaws. They have a quarterback that drives me insane with his inaccuracy at times. Yet, and even through injuries, when guys have stepped up and played through great coaching, I still have. I walk away from this game saying this is a real team this year in the NFL that can make some noise in the playoffs. Now, are they going to be favored to win a Super Bowl? Absolutely not. Is there a guarantee that they make the playoffs? There still isn't. You have 4 games You have to win at least 2 of these games. 3 are conference
Sunday,
games,
you
2 are
gotta
division
win,
games.
You got to win Sunday.
And it's not going to be an easy game against the Browns. The Browns defensively against the run are pretty average. They're middle of the field now. Against the pass, they're excellent. They're one of the top pass defensive teams in the league right now due to their pass rush.
Yeah, it's
the
hard
Bears
to
have
defend.
to show up.
It's
the
hard
Bears
to,
have to show up though.
Oh, they have to do more than show up.
They have to show up.
They have to do more than that.
And play like the team that played the Packers in the second half at Lambeau. They have to.
Yeah, what my takeaways now that I've slept on it too, this was really in large part a defensive loss. They didn't lose because of their offense. They lost because of their defense and the opposing quarterback's accuracy, particularly against the blitz. And the failure of the Bears' blitz and the failure of their pass rush, it was a propagating problem. Because you weren't getting home with 4 and you felt the need to heat things up with extras, you made things too easy on a quarterback who is just accurate. He finds guys.
Yep.
And I don't know the one interception, what he saw, what he didn't see. But next time against Love, you clutter his vision a little bit more rather than trying to take somebody out of coverage to heat him up. I feel much better having more people in more spaces further down the field against him than I do sending a guy off the edge, because I do think he can anticipate, and I think he's accurate throwing to a guy who's got to step on his guy. That's what we saw. And this game, whether you want to single out Jalen Johnson or single out the pass rush, these were defensive failures in large part that cost them the game, because what the defense has been so good at this year is not allowing stuff to get over their head, not getting burned deep, not interfering deep, and not allowing that. And it was clear that Matt LaFleur saw a weakness there and was willing to test that over and over and over again. And I know that Dennis Allen's going to see it too. There are blitzes that are an important part of his defense, but I think this was a defensive loss. The other thing, and the hardest thing to do in the middle of a season, is have the kind of practices that instill the reminders of how to tackle. The Bears have to stop missing tackles. The Packers don't miss them. That's a big difference between these teams. And as much as they do practices in shells and their walkthroughs, it still matters. I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but the angles of a non-contact practice still matter. You still have to make sure that everybody is concentrating and moving with a purpose in a low-contact practice. You've got to get people there understanding the intent, and it's got to keep being hammered home. When you've got a chance to stop or slow somebody in the open field, you cannot miss that opportunity. 4 can't be 12. -2 can't be 4. These are where games are won and lost. I've got to see the Bears tackle better. And if that's why Noah Sewell is losing reps to DeMarco Jackson, good. If that's why, if that's part of the reasoning, because when you look at those snap counts and you start looking, DeMarco Jackson's taken a linebacker job here.
Yeah, Sewell was back in at special teams yesterday. And that was it. And DeMarco Jackson's still on the field. And what was frustrating with yesterday's defensive effort, when you had miscommunication and misassignments in the defensive backfield, and you're talking Kevin Byard, Jalen Johnson, Nashawn Wright, Nick McLeod, CJ GJ. Now, I get it. You're not going to go out and say those are the 5 guys. If you're starting a team, those are the 5 guys I'd take right now. Kevin Byard's having an exceptional season. Nashawn Wright, exceptional season.
It's a rough day.
But they've been playing enough, and they're veteran enough guys to say the missed assignment shouldn't happen. The slant route to Christian Watson that went for a lot of yards. I think he was covered by
GJ.
Gardner Johnson. And if you remember on seeing the replay of it, and let me get to that too about Fox as well, he gives him the inside. He gives him the inside position. Like, he moved off to the outside shoulder before the ball was snapped, which I didn't quite understand at all. Like, why give him the center of the field? I just didn't understand the positioning whatsoever. So if that's on him in making a mistake, or if it's on whoever was supposed to help in deep coverage,
either
that's
way,
on Kevin Byard.
Either way, that they read a blitz and there was an accurate ball delivered to a guy in stride.
Right. And what I have an issue with the delayed blitzes, when you take a guy out of coverage and bring him late, that's not fast enough against Jordan Love. It's just not quick enough.
That is what Jalen Johnson was supposed to do on the second quarter, 3rd and 10.
When he just sat there in no man's land.
Exactly.
He didn't move.
But when his guy stays in, that's a green dog. When he realizes his guy is not out in a pattern, you immediately go attack the quarterback.
Not only that, he didn't do anything. He didn't drop back. He didn't. But he missed his assignment of going in. But even then, worst case scenario, do something.
But even if he
don't just stand there and watch.
Even if he did what he was supposed to do, it's still maybe not enough at that time to affect the play.
Yeah, even if he does go in the blitz, he's not impacting Jordan Love's throw at all. Not on
that play.
No, not on that particular play. And standing there is probably the worst thing you could do, and watching. So again, we asked it yesterday in the post game. Was he okay? Real quick before I forget, because I didn't say it yesterday, Fox has been doing a terrible job on replays, on immediately showing a play that just occurred. There was a blitz by the Packers. Two guys got in like a single in like a line, one guy behind the other on Caleb Williams. Really good play call on their part.
And we never saw it again.
And we never saw it again. And I wanted to see like what was happening on the line. I wanted to see, and I get it. I'm at the mercy of them of the broadcast network, whoever it is, whether it's CBS or Fox or Prime or wherever they show games. But it stood out to me this year a lot more that they're just really bad on replays, and they're so quick to want to prop up their color commentator, whoever it might be, that they're more willing to show what that guy wants. And I get that, I get it. That's why he's there. But like, let's see the plays. Like I'd be okay with seeing a replay of a play that was a significant happening in a series.
While we're talking about this, let me get to a couple of things that had been further down on my list that I was going to mention yesterday. If we're talking about what Fox, it's not just Fox, but we've got an arms race now of these cute graphics, whether it's the tortoise and the hare or some themed animation that they can't wait to find the time to get to because they've got people working on them and people coming up with these, let's do the tortoise and the hare for the division with the Colts. I saw that. It's just, and then you miss something because in the can, they have an animation that they're so pleased with and so happy about that they can't wait to spring on you. I don't need that.
No, not at all.
I'd cover the game.
Yep.
If that's what halftime is for, that's what pregame is for all your cutesy stuff. I don't know when the idea of some of these silly animated graphics became like in the game. You've got to find a time to do this. I don't know why. I don't know who's asking for it. I don't know. Are you trying to interest children and reach out to them and make it silly and fun and graphic? I don't know why there's been this. Every network is doing it. We don't need it.
No, we don't need it. Use it for your pregame show, your studio shows. Use it there. Don't use it in the game. So I'd be curious to know what a network says. All right, this is what we've learned. And what portion of the audience or what new audience are you trying to attract with it? Because it doesn't help the game at all. So stop doing it. And it's not needed at all.
And the best part is when they went to one in this last game, it was Caleb Williams as the escape artist.
Right.
Caleb Williams as the great Houdini. And they go to it. And then he doesn't. He goes, Caleb Williams has been Houdini. I mean Houdini. So I'm still laughing about the great Houdini. I didn't know that he was this fabulous, the little known Lebanese magician, and they stole his work from him, and they gave it all to Eric Weiss, who became the great Houdini. But little known that it was actually Houdini. It was the great Houdini who only in the circles of Lebanese magic was doing all these wonderful things, and he had it ripped away and never got the credit he deserved. The great Houdini.
Yeah, it doesn't benefit the game. It doesn't benefit the viewer at all. And if you're not doing everything from the lens of what can we do to make this better for the viewer,
yeah,
then don't do it.
Give me the game.
And if there's a question about it, and if you're questioning it, then don't do it. That's probably you're leaning in that direction. Just don't do it then.
The other awesome malaprop we got to start, the very first time Tom Brady tried to pronounce Monangai,
Yep.
he gave us Monogonai. 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 There's those of us of a certain age immediately noted that and thanked Tom Brady for it. I will say Brady's getting better. Brady is definitely getting better.
I told you that last time the Bears had him.
Yeah.
It felt watching the game, it felt like he'd actually attended meetings, he talked to people, he got information from clubs, and he shared things, and it wasn't just, the filler talk of his years and years of being a quarterback. He actually talked about the two teams.
And he's certainly not busy with the Raiders, I guess.
No.
Remember that whole thing? And it's unfair that Tom Brady's going to lure all the talent and take everything away.
Yeah.
He's in the booth. Okay. Whatever
Right.
that's doing, you can keep doing
Right.
it.
If I'm a fan of or a member of a team in the AFC West, let's keep Tom Brady,
Go
with
ahead.
the Raiders as long as possible,
Keep
because that's
on
not doing
it.
much.
It's all good. Feel free. But thank you for Monogonai and for the great Haduni, which is fun.
Yeah, let's get better on replays. Let's lose all the graphics. We don't need them. We don't need all the silly stuff.
I will say, too, that if you noticed how complimentary Brady was at the end about Ben Johnson's clock management, I've come to realize something in between that and now, that this aggressive, really strongly, almost selling out aggressive mindset, this city's not used to it. They're not used to it. What is Ben Johnson doing? You know what he was doing? As far as I can tell, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I thought he was saying, here's what's going to happen. We're going to score. We're going to go for two. We're going to get it. And the game's going to be over. That's what I thought he was doing. Like, check out the big balls on Ben. That clock management to me said, yeah, run it down. Go ahead. We're going to run a play here. We're going to score a touchdown. We're going to get the 2-point conversion, and we're going to get the hell out of here with a win. Now, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But that approach, nobody seems used to it. And Brady was like, yeah, I like this. Because Brady is used to it. Brady is used to that kind of thing rather than this sort of, mealy mouth, I don't know, maybe we should get time, or maybe we'll score, or maybe we won't, and then we'll make a decision. That's not what Johnson was doing. Johnson was trying to set up that clock to go steal a road win and get on the bus and drive home safely.
Yeah. Beep, beep.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that kind of play calling and that kind of approach to a game, road or home, is not something people here are used to. But that's the new mentality. Is we figured this out in the second half. We're right with you right now. We got you. They got down too far. There's another quarter of that game, the Bears win it. And I was thinking about this: if they play 10 times, the Bears win 4.5. That's the difference right now.
Okay.
If this Bears team, that Bears team, as currently constructed, that roster, even without Kyler Gordon, that roster, I think if they played 100 times, the Bears win 45. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's probably fair. That's probably a fair, accurate depiction of where these two teams stand, and I think the main part of that is where the quarterbacks are at. I think that's really the main difference. Like each team is going to have its ups and downs, which they've had throughout this season. And I think the Bears have done a good job of overcoming injury, as have the Packers. They have injuries too, and they still, they're 9-3-1.
And we saw the coaching fight there too. That I think Ben Johnson figured some things out. I think if Dennis Allen had to do that all over again, that maybe you don't use the Kyler Gordon game plan when you lose him right before the game.
Yeah. Ben Johnson didn't seem to think that was as big of a deal. At least that's how he led on to the media after the game.
I did.
That, it would have, that it's nice to have preparation, but even with that guy going down in pregame, we're still ready to step up and next guy up, and Dennis Allen has the guys good to go.
And Dennis Johnson.
And he's gonna play good defense on you and be one of the worst players on a great team.
What? it?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Come on.
Wow, strays for Dennis Johnson.
Strays. That's straight on, man. I'm like Kyle Monungai taking helmets out.
Wow.
How about that run, by the way? We didn't
right.
even mention yesterday.
Broke a helmet?
Broke a helmet? Like, Jesus, man.
Shattered a helmet.
And still kept his feet underneath him.
Yeah, he's
Like, what would Cole Kmet have done in that situation? Because he falls down on his own.
if I were Kyle Monungai today, all I would do is say ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
But he
Ow.
he kept his
Ow.
feet.
How does
He kept his legs.
I
He
know.
was like his wits were still about him that he turned and he knew where to go.
Yeah, he's if he were like 15
Like he
pounds
broke a helmet,
heavier,
dude.
I-
Like a
I
piece
know.
of helmet fell off.
I know.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's like the Mike Singletary stories from Baylor. Remember, that he was so crazy that he
Oh, his eyes would break helmets. He would just stare at a helmet and it would shatter.
like scanners.
Yeah. Oh, he's like, what is that? What's the Marvel guy? So the Cyclops? Is it Cyclops?
Yeah,
One of the guys?
Cyclops
Yeah.
has the beam that
Yeah,
comes out.
that's what that Singletary would just shatter helmets.
No, but seriously, he was that big a maniac that he would break his own helmet like during warm-ups, smacking his head into things, and they had to tell him to like, sit over here and listen to classical music or something. Because he was just too crazy.
So that's your kid without a helmet, though.
Well, that's only during Wii tennis.
He's taken after Mike Singletary.
When
He's the Mike Singletary of Wii tennis.
Look at his eyes. Look at the intensity. Oh, he tripped over a shoe and he hit his head on a wall and concussed himself. I had to text him after Tulane won. And I had when they're storming.
What, to make sure?
Oh, did you see them storm
I didn't
the
see them
field?
storm. No, I didn't.
Okay, so
I turned off the game.
So Tulane wins.
Yeah.
And the student section in the end zone there. And I've watched the game from there. It's fun. And they all start pouring out onto the field. And Beth and I look at each other like, oh, God. Because we start seeing students in the back.
Because he's going to get hurt.
Well, but not just that. Just don't be an idiot. Because everybody was hammered. And I'm just worried that somebody's going to see him on camera. This is ABC. This is like actual national TV. This is not ESPN Plus, right? Where there's 4 people watching. Just think, oh, please, please, please don't be an idiot. Don't show up on camera. And the problem is everybody looks like Jason.
Oh. Yeah, he's fine. The hair.
You've got
They're probably all dressed
like,
the same.
They're all white. It's like it's like
Sweatpants or pajama pants and a hoodie.
because when they started, I was thinking about the thing from the Borat movie as the student section is emptying. I look at Beth and I go, the running of the Jews. Here they come. Oh no, they've unleashed all the privileged Jewish boys on everybody, and everybody looks like Jason.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh no, is that no? Is that no? It's not. No, it's not. No, who's that? No. That's,
What, did you speak to him?
That's Josh Friedman from Scarsdale.
Did he survive? Did he come out injury free?
He was
Is he
fine.
unscathed?
No, they left to go drink. He didn't.
Okay.
Like,
So he didn't stay for the
They did a quick lap.
storming of the field?
They did a quick lap.
Or the
They
castle?
They kind of just have fun storming the castle. They walked around. They're like, oh, okay, and then they all because then I looked at Find My Friends. Like, oh wait, he's in his room. Like they had to regather for the party.
Yeah.
And then we got a text from Waffle House at 4:29 a.m.
Oh boy, what was the text?
The text was just like, I love you guys and
Oh.
thanks for everything and you guys are awesome.
Emotional drinking.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was like you.
Yeah.
I think it might be your kid.
Well,
He's like a really happy, appreciative, like late night Waffle House drunk. So he sends all, and then he was just like, I love you. And then hashtag sag machine.
oh god. Okay, no, definitely your kid.
Yes.
There's no doubt.
Okay. But it was like, all right, he's all right. But that was, I was back to what Brady said, though.
Yeah, sorry.
Get used to that. Get used to the fact that the Bears at least had a mentality of, yeah, we're going to go get it. We're not going to play scared. We think we're good. We know we're good. We're going to carry ourselves like we're good, and we're going to go win a game in your house.
Yeah, so it's crazy. They lose in Lambeau 28-21, and yet it's the most confident I've felt about this team all season long. That second half was really something to see, and I really hope they are able to use this film and get a good week of practice in to put a game like that together. Now, we're in December, and they've played one of their best halves of football. We need to see 4 quarters. We need to see 4 quarters of good football. And I'm curious to hear from Dennis Allen this week too about those explosive plays that they gave up.
Yep.
That were the factors in this game that led to the outcome of 28-21.
I think, and we'll probably talk about it next week, but the lesson that I learned if I'm a defensive coordinator is I'd rather have my resources against Jordan Love in coverage than blitzing, just in general. There's a time and a place based on personnel, based on score and situation and position on the field, but everything else taken into consideration, all things being equal, I'd rather clutter his field of vision than make him think that he's got an open hot against man.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So some of these poor bowl games are trying to find people who want to compete, and they're calling in teams like, yeah, we don't wanna. We're gonna stay home. And these bowl committees of some of these, florid-faced guys in their peach-colored jackets who walk around press rooms and with their puffy chests, they're making phone calls and they're sweating it out today because teams would rather just not. They'd rather not play in some of these events. So I'm torn. As much as I would love to just pound Notre Dame's ass for refusing to go to a bowl, and I've seen all the memes and just how entitled they are. I'm taking my ball and going home. I kind of don't blame them. Like, I understand it. It's all true that it does look petulant and entitled, but I also do get it. Like, what's the point of going to the ass bowl? And you get a big bag of ass, and your player. These are employees.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously though, like what bowl? Because I know you're making fun of it. The ass bowl isn't an actual bowl. At least I checked last night after we did this post game show. I wanted because I'd never heard of the ass bowl, and I wanted to see where the ass bowl was played in case we get out.
It is.
I want to take the kids to see the ass bowl.
I believe it's sponsored by the National Ass Committee.
Okay.
Or the Ass Growers of America, I believe, or Ass Producers of America.
I like the Ass Growers of America.
People who grow
ass,
all of our national reserves of ass. So yeah, you go there, you get a bag full of ass.
So, like I said, I struggle with this because I get that if you're an actual legitimate college football program with legitimate college football players that have a chance of going to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why you maybe wouldn't want to play a meaningless bowl game. But now that we've come to the fact that bowl games are meaningless, is that just because of the structure of the playoff format? Okay, fine. So if that's the route we're taking, and that's why we're saying why they're meaningless now, if Notre Dame wants to gripe about it and say we deserve to be in the top 12 and we didn't make it, we're not going to go to a bowl, I can get their sense of entitlement because they're entitled assholes. And I get their thinking to it. I do. I understand it. But a team like what other team isn't going to a bowl game? Is not going to go to a bowl game?
A lot.
Kansas State. Okay. Is Kansas State ever going to be in the top 12? Is Kansas State ever going to play for a national championship? You're not. Play your goddamn bowl game.
Illinois is going to a bowl game.
Illinois should go. They should go to a bowl game, and so should Northwestern, because they're not going to. They have no beef with the top 12.
Hey man, my rule is this.
So if you don't have a legitimate beef to be in the top 12. Go to your bowl game.
I think
because you know what? Because there are kids on that team that aren't going pro. More kids are not going pro than going to the NFL.
Course, but let's
go to the bowl game and play.
Here's what I think is critical. When we talk about college X, what does it mean? Does it mean we're talking to the athletic director? Does it mean we're talking to the coach? I think what's important is to know that we're talking equally to the players and to the administration. As long as the players are represented and have agency in this, and that when we say you, Kansas State, that we're not just, if the players want to go, then go. That's really, and if the players don't want to go, you don't have to drag them.
Fine. That's fine. And like, how many kids are on a college roster? 80 some kids,
something like that.
Okay, let's say there's 80 kids. I don't know because I could look it up.
Yeah, and if the pros don't want to play, they don't have to play.
Right, and if those 80 kids they vote and say, "Yep, you know what? 41 of us don't want to go," then guess what? You're not going to go. But if it's the school saying, "Oh, this is beneath us and our storied program," bullshit.
And some of it's money too. I remember it was.
Yeah. What about the money that you make going to a bowl game?
Some don't. I think years ago when Northern Illinois went to the Orange Bowl, do you remember that? And they got railroaded by Florida State.
Yeah.
And we learned that some teams can end up losing money on those trips. that if you got all these tickets and you got to sell some of the tickets and then you got to bring
you're taking
everybody
your band
there,
and you're doing
right.
all this.
And if you're trying to do right by everybody, you end up losing money.
Okay.
And for a program and for an athletic department like Northern Illinois, yeah, you get whatever hullabaloo and hoopla and rigmarole that you get from it, but you don't necessarily see a return on that investment. So whatever the reason why you'd turn down a bowl, just as long as the players have agency, as long as the players themselves just say, hey, yeah, we'd go play. We'd do that. Just make sure that they, as employees, are represented.
Yeah, I agree with that. I hope the players have a vote in it. And as a state school, if you are, and it's like financially, it's not responsible to go to a bowl game, I can understand that as well too. That makes sense to me.
Especially now because some teams don't know who their coach is.
Right.
And so they're busy trying to find another coach and what are we doing and where are we? And it isn't just the national rankings and the playoff. It's the transfer portal.
Right.
Because you have players like, I'm not playing for this team anymore. I'm playing somewhere else. And you have a coach of that team who may say, yeah, I don't care if you get hurt in a bowl game.
Now, though,
I'm running you off. I'm bringing in other people.
But now the transfer portal window doesn't impact teams that aren't in the playoffs. It just doesn't because it impacts teams that are in the quarterfinals and beyond.
Well, it still impacts them. It's just not as much because of the timing.
As much,
yeah.
Right. I mean,
it affects
because
everybody.
of the timing of it. Right. Sure. But as far as about playing in a bowl game, well, I'm not going to play in this bowl game because I'm going to go to this school. Well, yeah, you can't go to that school till January.
But not even that. You could be hurt in that bowl game.
Right. No, I get it. I get it. I get that aspect of it. But an entitled school like Notre Dame, who thought they deserved to be in the top 12, and I was telling you they're not a top 12 team in this country. I've been telling you all damn season, and I barely know college football.
That's the best part.
Yes. And I barely know college football.
I feel very strongly, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm talking about.
No, but I know exactly what I'm talking about. Early season losses. They lost their first 2 games to ranked teams. And they started out 0-2. And they did, but then, listen, they beat Syracuse, Stanford, North Carolina State, Boston College, Arkansas, and Purdue. 9-40. That's half of their damn schedule. Independent football can kiss my ass.
Join a conference.
Right.
Join a conference.
Join a conference and have your losses and your wins have more significance. Yeah, they didn't beat a top 15 ranked team all year. And they think they should be in the playoff? And I thought they would get in based on money, on generating money revenue through watching TV. That's the only reason I thought they'd get in. I'm so glad they're not in because they're entitled assholes and they don't deserve to be in.
The best thing
Their schedule tells me that. Look at the damn schedule.
I'm going to tell you the best thing I've read about this whole thing in just a second. But first, I want to let you know about the best sale yet, your best chance yet to get that fabulous big box of meat from Omaha Steaks and maybe more importantly, give it as a gift because this is now the Sizzle All the Way sale. 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com.
5-0?
Have you seen what beef prices are doing?
It's everything's expensive. Beef's insane. 5-0 is that what you said? 50? 5-0?
Yeah, but there's more than that because if you shop regularly and you're looking at beef prices, like even when I shop in the discount bin, I'm like, whoa, what is this? This is already
outrageous.
This is discounted meat? My prices of discounted meat have
as
gone
you
up.
Step on it as it's crawling away, you're like,
man,
come on.
But even everything, a pound of beef now, Americana is like $7 for a pound of ground beef.
That's not true.
Well, during
fake news.
I don't know. During the Sizzle All the Way sale, 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com.
That's awesome.
And $35 off with the promo code Bernstein at checkout.
Wait, you can use both?
Yep. It is 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com and $35 off when you use my promo codes. This means for you, if you want to stock up on beef and pork and chicken and everything else that's expensive, or if you want to give a gift. Orders placed by 5 o'clock Chicago time in the afternoon ship same day. It's Omaha Steaks, unrivaled quality and variety, every bite backed by a 100% guarantee. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness, hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. Grass-fed, grain-finished beef. From Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher since 1917. They carry their mouth-watering burgers. I've got some of those in the freezer. Oh, my God. Chicken, pork, seafood, and the desserts. Do not forget those caramel apple tartlets. Save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Right now, visit Omaha Steaks for 50% off site-wide during the Sizzle All the Way sale. For an extra $35 off, use promo code Bernstein, just my last name, at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's omahasteaks.com. Code Bernstein.
Wait a second. This is crazy.
Why?
So I can get this box: 4 butcher's cut top sirloin fillets.
Yep.
4 boneless chicken breasts, jumbo franks, apple tartlets, Omaha seasonings, and they're going to throw in 4 Omaha steak burgers for free.
Yep.
That box is $90. That's the sale price. And I get $35 off of that too for using DBU.
Yeah. So that makes it what, 55 for all that?
For all that?
Yep.
I'd buy that.
For 55. Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty
That's crazy.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah. So do that.
That's a great deal. Yeah. If most places don't give you the discount and the code to you can't use both together, but they're giving you 50% off site-wide.
Yeah, I know.
And you get the $35 off for DBU.
I guess before they realize what they've done.
Yeah. Oh, should I stop? Sorry.
Go to omahasteaks.com. 50% off.
Sorry, friends.
And 35% off. The
Hello,
promo
steak
code
friends.
is BERNSTEIN. So I think
Bernstein.
this is some of the best stuff that I've read is basically for as far as the college football playoff, blaming the television show. And blaming the reality show that ESPN has made into this massive draw and moneymaker for them. That
The selection show?
Yeah, the overall the updates, the weekly updates of the CFP rankings, and then it's like, we moved everything around and we can't really explain why, but this is just how it is. And you can't do that. You got to get rid of the show. You got to just spring the bracket on people, because once you start tracking this team's here and this team's here, why did this team go up? Why was BYU punished for losing in the conference championship and Alabama isn't at all? They can't explain any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But the deal with ESPN, it's all about the television programming. All of this is about the television programming, and there's no way they're going to go back on it now with the number of eyes that are drawn to it. So,
and then the revenue attached with it, it's
right.
never going to happen.
So, but they painted themselves into a corner here because they can't explain why Alabama's there.
Yeah, if you want to talk about a team that got screwed, like really screwed, is BYU.
Yep.
BYU really got screwed.
Yep.
If there's one team that deserves to be there that's not, it's BYU. Notre Dame, so shut the hell up.
It's just really funny because when you can see how they've got to sort of pay the piper for this sellout, like they've created a monster here that they can't control. It's Prometheus. It's Frankenstein's monster. That it's run amok. They should not have been messing with these godlike powers. Damn it.
Well, there's only one way to fix it. It's to create a college football league that you got to pay an entry fee to get into. There's enough money out there with boosters to do it. And you play within your own schedule, your own division, your own conference, however you want to set it up. And then, and you just go by win-losses. And you take all the subjective opinions out of it.
So Heisman votes are due by this afternoon.
Yes, they are.
My votes are in. I saw all I needed to see by, I guess it was early Sunday morning, late Saturday night.
Team Lodge.
That I decided.
What are you doing?
Hey, man. No, that's when I think I had enough information to make my decision and do what I had to do.
Wait, when did you make your decision?
I made it after the championship games. I was able to see the games. I was able to see the performances. And my vote is in, and I feel very confident about it. I'm not allowed to say much, but there were some impressive performances and some that solidified some previously held beliefs. I don't think anything was really called into question. I didn't feel confronted with any sort of dilemma. I didn't think that this was a particularly difficult vote. And I'll leave it at that.
Yep. Well, congratulations to Diego Pavia and his brothers.
Well, see, if I could have voted for the Pavia brothers, the flying Pavia, somebody asked via email if Pavia is already plural. Is it the plural of pavium? Do you have one pavium and two pavia?
The Pavia is
the pavier. I don't know, but who are they? It's not. Is it Raul?
Raul and Francesco.
No, it's not Francesco. Because I'm confused.
And their other brother, Cisco.
Because no, Mendoza's got a brother too. Because did you see that when Mendoza got hurt? And then they had another Mendoza?
His brother running the field?
Alberto. It's like they brought in the non-union, lesser expensive equivalent. Here he is. We don't have Francisco Mendoza, but we do have Alberto.
Javier and Raul. Is it R-O-E-L? Is that Raul?
I don't think it's Raul.
Roll?
Is that right? Are you sure?
I'm looking at it right now. Javier and R-O-E-L.
Oh, Roel. That's
Roel.
what it is.
Okay.
Roel. It's Roel and
Roel and Javier.
And Javier, the flying drunken Pavia brothers. If there's an award for them, bring them to the ceremony and have them on the dais. I think
They're going to rock it, too.
Yeah, I think they should be up there in full gear, just blitzed out of their minds, throwing up on each other and punching people. Because then you got a Heisman ceremony. Then you got something to tune in for there. Because they're fun. And believe me, Diego wants them. He says you got to get them drunk or you can't win.
It's the only way they win.
It's the only way they win.
They have the Pavia boys have a younger sister as well, too. I'm glad she stays out of the fray.
Oh, does she? Do we know she does?
Well, we haven't heard anything about her.
I think they're waiting to unleash her.
No.
Well, I don't want to say this if she's like 11. Is she of age?
I have no idea.
Okay, because Mama is out there in front of cameras, too. She's having the time of her life. I don't know if she's throwing back kamikaze shots, too, or whatever. What's their drink of choice? Do they not have a deal?
Alcohol.
No, they got to have a deal with somebody.
They look like Goldschlager guys to me.
You think?
Yeah. They needed something with floaties in the
Okay. Because
Jaeger. No, maybe they're Jaeger guys.
Jaeger guys? Jaeger Bounce. Jaeger. The Roel. Hi, I'm Roel Pavia. You may know me from getting arrested at the Texas game. Like those, they need a deal of some kind. Get them out there and have them, or like Four Loko might be.
Yeah, they need
some
kind of malt liquor.
I think they nerfed Four Loko though, right?
I don't know. Did they?
I think they did. Yeah, they took all like the caffeine out of it. I think they took something out of it that made it fun. Too bad. You need windows, especially this time of year. You're thinking about it because you go near a window and you say, well, why is it cold over here? Because your windows suck. Because they're old and you haven't thought about getting new ones. And then you think about it because you hear about, well, wait a sec, maybe I should listen to this deal. No, call Russ. You hear about all these other deals, but Russ is going to match any price that you hear about. You say, well, what about this deal? What about that deal? Just call Russ and he'll explain it to you. And then he will make for you the best windows you're going to get. And they're at a factory here in Chicago, so there aren't any sort of delays for things to come from all the way across the country. Russ's number is 847-302-9171, and you can check out his 5-star reviews at chicagowindowguys.com. When you are getting quotes on windows, ask the other sales reps, hey, who's installing my windows? And they'll go, people. They don't know. Because they use subcontracted labor. Russ doesn't. Russ has a crew of installers that work for him and only for him. And those are the people that will be installing your windows. Soon they will be installing more windows in my house, and the very same people will be installing yours. All Russ's windows have a lifetime guarantee on parts and labor. So if your dumbass kid breaks a window and he throws a ball through
Trade him in.
You trade in your kid. Russ will replace your kid with a better kid, and he'll replace your window absolutely free because we mentioned Russ's factory right here in Chicago. He custom makes all the windows for you. So don't wait. Get those windows, 847-302-9171. And the 5-star reviews are at chicagowindowguys.com.
I think this brand of vodka, I've never heard of it. Have you heard of Kinky Pink liqueur?
Kinky Pink?
Ever heard of it?
No, I've heard of Pink Whitney.
No, Kinky liqueur offerings a Kinky Pink, which stars notes of mango, blood orange, and passion fruit. It's great as a shot or is mixed with lemon lime soda.
You think that's good for the Pavia brothers?
Yeah. Or Mel de Kuiper's Pucker watermelon schnapps.
Ooh. Oof. That's got like regret. That sounds like a big bottle of regret.
Absolute mango. How's that sound for you? Or how about Fabrizia Limoncello?
Oh yeah, but that's at the end of the evening though. Limoncello. You don't want to get drunk on limoncello.
New Amsterdam vodka, UV Blue, which apparently is a vodka. Malibu rum.
I don't know. They all looking for somebody?
Fireball. I think Fireball's good for the Pavia boys.
The new one, the apple one?
No, I think they're hardcore cinnamon flavored. Doc McGillicuddy's. Ooh, used to like that.
That's the mint one, right?
Yeah, they have a lot of different flavors, but yeah, menthol mint, I think is their main one.
That's like old Matabatacola. This is your life.
Well, I'm looking at. I was trying to find something good for the Pavia boys. I wanted to see if we could, and I found some article: the 19 cheapest liquors every student should know about.
What about the captain?
It's on the list.
Is it?
Yeah.
Go get yourself the captain.
That's good stuff.
The winter meetings are occurring as we speak, and it sounds like the Cubs are in the market for pitching. Based on everything everybody is hearing, that even though Dylan Cease signed elsewhere, that the Cubs had discussions with Cease and his peeps and are continuing to possibly throw around some big money for another starter. They are said to be involved, or the word that was used here by our friends Patrick Mooney and Sahadev Sharma of The Athletics say that the Cubs have re-engaged with all-star third baseman Alex Bregman. Re-engage, Maverick. Re-engage, Mav.
He's not a pitcher.
He's not a pitcher. He's a third baseman, but he's...
I mean, I'll take him, but I just don't see them going after and getting Bregman.
As far as the pitchers,
would love it.
One name to focus on is Michael King.
I would like them to get Michael King. I'd be okay with that.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And he was a reliever, wanted to be a starter, turned into a really good starter, ended up being an important part of the Juan Soto trade. And in his first year with the Padres, first year fully as a starter, 7th in Cy Young voting. He's had some injuries. He's heading into his age 31 year. But that's kind of wheelhouse for the Cubs. They'll look at his pitch mix. They'll get him in the lab, and they'll say more of this, less of this, and this is how we're going to idealize what you do. Michael King's going to be interesting. The number would be interesting on that. And the other name to keep an eye on is going to be the Japanese pitcher Imai. So it sounds like Tatsuya Imai is going to have the Cubs on his list of possibilities for now. And I'm interested. He's only 27. And Imai has been immensely successful with a 1.92 ERA, 27.8% strikeout rate, a 7% walk rate. And that's after 3 years of having an ERA around 2.3 in the NPB. So let's just keep a close eye and some bullpen possibilities as well there for the Cubs here in as the winter meetings go on. It sounds, the preponderance of evidence seems to suggest that the Cubs know that they're in their window. They are prepared to spend some money, and it other than Bregman, it sounds like starting pitching is going to be the big expenditure. Probably not going to replace Kyle Tucker, and that's going to be letting some combination of Owen Casey and Moises Ballesteros take up some of those at bats.
Unless there's a veteran guy out there, they get cheap.
Maybe
later in the offseason.
Maybe. I mean, they've got, like every team, they've got all the money, and the latest report is that a reasonable offer has been made by the Pirates of all teams to Kyle Schwarber.
Oh,
that maybe the market setter for Schwarber could be the Pirates, in which case, jump in there. Because my guess is that the Pirates, if the bidding goes up, and it always does, my guess is they're not going to hang too long. So I'd go ahead. That's not a franchise that scares you off when it comes to bidding on some of these dudes.
Yeah, I'm confident that we're going to have enough money to field a good team.
Good. I'm glad that the Chicago Cubs are confident they'll have enough money to field a good team. Here, I tuned into the Bulls last night. I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. I don't know what they're doing. They'll try for a couple possessions, and then they kind of stop and stand and look at each other.
Lost to the Warriors? Right.
Lost. And they were never really in it.
Okay.
Warriors were just toying with them. They'd lead down to around 9 or 11, and then the Warriors would hit consecutive threes and go back to 16, 17, 18, and they were never a threat. They're just never a threat. They started in a zone. The Bulls were in a zone, and the Warriors are, so you want us to shoot? Okay, thanks. We'll just shoot. We'll do that. It's the NBA, and we're the Golden State Warriors without Steph Curry and without Draymond Green. So you can say, well, the Bulls are hurt. Okay. Well, they didn't have Steph Curry or Draymond Green. 2 Hall of Famers. 2 automatic walk-in-the-door Hall of Famers. They didn't have them, and it was just still a cakewalk because Brandon Pajemski is out there and Jimmy Butler's out there doing the things that they do. And Pajemski was, he's a tough little player. So I don't understand it. The Bulls have lost 7 in a row. They're the worst team in the league. They are not a competitive team. They are the worst team in the NBA right now. And somehow this has got to stop. And it's like for a quarter, they'll play hard. For a couple consecutive possessions, they'll play hard. You'll see it. They'll go on a run. And Javon Carter hits a couple threes. Everybody gets excited. And then the other team goes down and hits 2 more threes. And it's back to a 14-point lead. And they're just standing there looking at each other. We're getting to the point now where they might need a major trade. That you might need a blow up here to get closer to winning a championship. Whether that's Anthony Davis or somebody else who happens to become available, or a little bit more foresight in finding somebody younger. Is that Trey Murphy on the Pelicans? There's already been some deals out there. We're going to talk about all this in depth, constructing some of these deals on organizations win championships when that drops tomorrow afternoon. Because there are some proposed deals out there that have some possibilities. But I think this is it for Vooch, and maybe for whether it's, Kobe White's still coming back from the injury, and he's hurt again. The other leg is hurt. Speaking about a double leg injury, we're going to talk about that in Forward Progress. This Daniel Jones thing is just gross. But I wish I had a simple answer for the Bulls right now. I don't. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how you get out of this tailspin, and I don't know how you get some of these guys back healthy. It doesn't take much to hurt some of these Bulls. They sneeze and they're out for 3 games. And finally, I've heard some criticism of that, of saying there's a difference between being hurt and being injured. But now it's you somebody breathes on you and you're out for 4 games, and that just becomes the norm. I know that there are veteran players that are really unhappy about that. I'm not falling into that quite yet. I don't like questioning injuries, but something is not right with what's going on with the Bulls right now, and I don't think there's any easy solution that is going to emerge anytime soon.
Yep, Bulls have lost 7 in a row, 2 and 8 in their last 10. That is the largest losing streak currently in the NBA. The Raptors have lost 3. The Wizards have lost 3. That would be closest to that Bulls losing streak of 7. They are now, Dan, on the outside looking in.
Even of the play-in?
Even of the play-in. They are behind the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yep.
Who are the number 10 seed in the Eastern Conference right now.
Like to thank the Chicago Window guys for being our dear friends and sponsors of today's show. And that is Dan Bernstein Unfiltered for Monday on 312 Sports.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports.